Selections from Zen Teaching of Huang. To make use of your mind to think conceptually is to leave the substance and attach yourself to form. Awake to the one mind, and there is nothing whatsoever to be attained. This is the real Buddha. If you do not awake to this mind substance, you will overlay mind with conceptual thought. You will seek the Buddha outside yourself, and you will remain attached to forms, pious practices, and so on, all of which are harmful and not at all the way to supreme knowledge. The substance of the Absolute is inwardly motionless, and outwardly like a void, in that it is without bounds or obstructions. It is neither subjective nor objective, has no specific location, is formless, and cannot vanish. This mind is no mind of conceptual thought, and it is completely different from form. If you can only rid yourself of conceptual thought, you will have accomplished everything. Let there be a silent understanding and no more. Away with all thinking and explaining. Even if you go through all the stages of progress towards Buddhahood, one by one, when at last, in a single flash, you attain to the full realization, you will only be realizing the Buddha nature which has been with you all the time. And by all the foregoing stages, you will have added to it nothing at all. You will come to look upon these eons of work and achievement as no better than unreal actions performed in a dream. The people of the world, blinded by their own sight, hearing, feeling, and knowing, do not perceive the spiritual brilliance of the source substance. The self is not an activity. To awaken suddenly to the fact that your own mind is the Buddha, that there is nothing to be attained or a single action to be performed. This is the supreme way. Learn only how to avoid seeking for and attaching yourself to anything. Where nothing is sought, this implies mind unborn. Where no attachment exists, this implies mind not destroyed. And that which is neither born nor destroyed is the Buddha. Men are afraid to forget their minds, fearing to fall through the void with nothing to stay their fall. They do not know that the void is really void. This spiritually enlightening nature cannot be looked for or sought, comprehended by wisdom or knowledge, explained in words, contracted materially, or reached by meritorious achievement. Attach yourself to nothing beyond the pure Buddha nature, which is the original source of all things. Every single thing is just the one mind. When you have perceived this, you will have mounted the chariot of the Buddhas. The real mind cannot be exactly described, but when you have a tacit understanding of its substance, it is there. Just let your mind become void, and environmental things will void themselves. Let principles cease to stir, and events will cease stirring of themselves. The wise eschew thought. All the concepts you have formed in the past must be discarded and replaced by void. Put all mental activity to rest, and thus achieve tranquility. Beginningless time and the present moment are the same. Let each thought go as though it were nothing, or as though it were a piece of rotten wood, a stone, or the cold ashes of a dead fire. Just make whatever slight response is suited to each occasion. Mind is like the sun, forever in the void, shining spontaneously. What is called supreme perfect wisdom implies that there is really nothing whatever to be attained. Mind resembles a void. Seek for naught but this, else your search must end in sorrow. Whatever the senses apprehend resembles an illusion, including everything ranging from mental concepts to living things. All the Buddha's teachings just had this single object: to carry us beyond the stage of thought. The moment of realizing the unity of mind and the substance which constitutes reality may truly be said to baffle description. It is because you do not know your real mind that you delude yourself. Mind knows no divisions into separate entities. Mind is above all activities. Whatever has form is illusory. The great void is perfection, wherein is neither lack nor superfluity, a uniform quiescence in which all activity is stilled. Remain uniformly quiescent and above all activity. Do not deceive yourself with conceptual thinking, and do not look anywhere for the truth. All that is needed is to refrain from allowing concepts to arise. In truth, not a single thing exists which can be attained. You awaken to the intrinsic voidness of phenomena. Full understanding can come to you only through an inexpressible mystery. The approach to it is called the gateway of the stillness beyond all activity. A sudden comprehension comes when the mind has been purged of all clutter of conceptual and discriminating thought activity. Your consciousness is the Buddha. Whence does your consciousness arise? You may talk the whole day through, yet what has been said? Every single one of the myriads of phenomena in the universe is the Buddha. This substance may be likened to a quantity of quicksilver, which, being scattered in all directions, everywhere reforms into perfect wholes. When undispersed, it is one piece, the one comprising the whole, and the whole comprising the one. Prevent your mind from going on travels outside itself. The three worlds will vanish if you can reach this state beyond thought. If you were to remain quiescent and to refrain from the smallest mental activity, the substance of mind would be seen as a void. You would find it formless, occupying no point in space, and falling neither into the category of existence or non-existence. Know this and rest tranquilly in nothingness. If you would learn how to achieve a state of non-intellection, immediately the chain of causation would snap. Renounce the error of intellectual or conceptual thought processes, and your nature will exhibit its pristine purity. Even the most strenuous of your efforts is doomed to fail. Indulging in such practices implies your failure to understand the real meaning of mind. Your true nature is something never lost to you, even in moments of delusion. Nor is it gained at the moment of enlightenment. Ah, it is a jewel beyond all price. Your sole concern should be, as thought succeeds thought, to avoid clinging to any of them. Nor may you entertain the least ambition to be a Buddha here and now. To gaze upon a drop of water is to behold the nature of all the waters in the universe. In contemplating the totality of phenomena, you are contemplating the totality of mind. The phenomenal universe and nirvana, activity and motionless placidity, all are of the one substance. In this world, how few are they who have lost their egos? The perceived cannot perceive. The fundamental nature of all phenomena is close beside you, but you do not see even that. Avoid pondering things in your mind. Ah, could you but restrain each single thought from arising? With the merest desire to attach yourself to this or that, a mental symbol is soon formed. So let your symbolic conception be that of a void, for then the wordless teaching of Zen will make itself apparent to you. There is absolutely nothing which can be attained. The belief that enlightenment can be attained belongs to the doctrine of those sects which do not understand the truth. One who comprehends the truth of nothing to be attained is already seated in the sanctuary where he will gain his enlightenment. Only when your mind ceases dwelling upon anything whatsoever will you come to an understanding of the true way of Zen. The way of the Buddhas flourishes in a mind utterly freed from conceptual thought processes. The primordial darkness is the sphere in which every Buddha achieves enlightenment. The world is full of vexations arising from the transitory phenomena around us. My advice is to give up all indulgence in conceptual thought and intellectual processes. When such things no longer trouble you, you will unfailingly reach supreme enlightenment. Do not permit the events of your daily life to bind you, but never withdraw yourself from them. Never allow yourself to mistake outward appearance for reality. Avoid the error of thinking in terms of past, present, and future. Do not permit the least movement of your mind to disturb you. Be diligent. Be diligent.